we got somehow into a canal that wasn't any wider than the boat was long. You couldn't turn around. And they started shooting at us, and all you could do was go forward. The guy that was driving the boat was screaming and hollering, and the skipper of the boat handed him a .45 pistol, and he started shooting at him.
Curious Humanography is proud to partner with Utah Honor Flight, part of the National Honor Flight Network, giving veterans the trip of a lifetime to Washington, D.C. to visit memorials built in their honor. Each flight is free for veterans and made possible by generous donors. To learn more or support their mission, visit utahhonorflight.org and find your local Honor Flight hub at www.honorflight.org. Also, if you'd like to see more stories like this, please support us by subscribing to our channel, liking, commenting on the video, and sharing it with your friends. Your support helps us continue to bring stories that deserve to be heard. Thank you for watching, and now back to our show.
Named Don DeVoe, grew up in, born in Ogden.
Utah.
Yes, and grew up mostly there, but in the summers we'd go up to my uncle's ranch up in Idaho, up in Malad. And then my mom married a guy that worked for AT&T as a line repairman.
Yeah.
So we moved all over Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. I went to 22 schools in 1 year.
That's crazy. How old were you when that happened?
Grade school.
Wow.
Yeah, 6th and 7th grade. Darn. And then we came back here, and they split up, and I still lived down here and went to Idaho and Wyoming for the summers up on a ranch. So I was a city boy in the winter and a country boy in the summer.
Did you like going to the ranch?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to stay. So.
Okay, let's get right into it. How did you end up in Vietnam? Tell me that story.
Well, I got out of high school in '65, and I went to Montana, worked a hay for a summer, and I came back, and a friend of mine, good friend, best friend, had got his draft notice. I never did. And he says, instead of going to the Army, if we go into the Navy Reserve, which is a year reserves, 2 years active, and then another year reserve, active reserve, then we'll be together throughout the thing. And I went, well, that sounds good. So we did that. And the first year we went to boot camp.
And where was boot camp?
San Diego.
And how was that?
It wasn't too bad. It was only 2 weeks.
Oh, really? And what were they screaming at you the whole time? Give me some of that layout of that.
Well, yeah, it's boot camp. It's just, yeah. It was over Christmas, so yeah, it was boot camp.
Did you enjoy it?
It wasn't that bad.
Okay. Oh, and so, back up just a little bit. What was going on with the war? Like, what as a teenager? How much did you know, or what was your thoughts? Was it a big thing, or are you just like, ah?
No, when you're a teenager growing up, chasing girls is a little more important than a war. Okay. And I was busy. But anyway, we went to boot camp together, and then we went down to San Francisco to take a reserve cruise up to Victoria Island, Canada. And I was on that cruise.
What was the boat? What was it?
It was a destroyer.
Okay.
And it was on that cruise that I discovered I get seasick. And why I joined the Navy, I didn't have it slightest. I joined it to be together. Anyway, it wasn't that bad. We got back, and then later that year, I can't remember the date. Anyway, we got activated, went to Treasure Island, and in the meantime, this good friend of mine had met a girl, gotten serious, real serious, and didn't want to go in the Navy then. And he had an underlying medical problem that would have made him 4F to start with. But he thought he wanted to be a sailor. So anyway, cut the story short, he got out on a medical and I went to Vietnam. So much for being together throughout the whole thing.
What did you make of that back then? Were you mad about that, or what?
A little, yeah. But I couldn't be too mad because the gal that he married was my cousin, so I could. But it was all right. It was okay.
Okay, so then what happened to you?
I went to Vietnam. Actually, I would first offer you to go to Coronado Island down in San Diego.
How long were you there?
It was supposed to be 3 weeks. It's a week of classroom, and then a week they put you on a bus and take you to Camp Pendleton, the Marine base, and we spent a week there shooting all the guns we could find. They'd have one day he'd talk about and tell us about all these guns, and you couldn't hear them and couldn't understand them. And then the next day we'd go out to the range and shoot them all, from 45 pistols to 50 caliber machine guns.
Yeah, I bet that was fun.
That was fun.
What did you enjoy the most? Which one?
Actually, the 50 caliber was kind of fun. Because I grew up hunting and that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So you can cut that out. So
so 1 week of doing guns.
yeah, and then it was another week of prisoner of war camp.
And oh, really? What was that?
Darn. They took us up to Washington State, Fort Hueneme, and turn you loose. And they give you half a parachute and a bayonet. And there you go. And in a few days, we'll come look for you. We'll find you. And it's escape and evade. And, of course, nobody escaped because they had a list of everybody, so they knew when they didn't have them all.
And you're literally out there by yourself, or have you
A
found
bunch of us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a whole group.
Oh, and you guys are sticking together then?
Kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
we split up. There was 3 of us that got along.
Yeah.
One guy was real smart, sharpened his knife. We made, then we cut our pant legs off and cut them into strips. We made a rope, put a noose on it, and sit and waited, and we caught a seagull. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty great, man.
We caught a seagull. We used knives and a rock to spark. We made a fire. And we cooked and ate a seagull. So we weren't as bad off as some of the others. It didn't taste very good, but we ate it.
How long were you out there before they caught up with you?
4 days.
Wow.
And then they find you, and they take you to a prisoner of war camp. And they interrogate you. They can do everything but leave a mark. So they're hollering in your face. They're ripping your pockets off your uniform. They had a box that was about 3 foot square, maybe a little bit more, maybe 4 foot square. And they put you in that and leave you there for a while. And most guys, it was cramped. Me, I uncurled and went to sleep. So the box was too big for me. And then...
was that intimidating doing that, or were you just like, oh, this is a game?
there was parts that was quite intimidating, yeah. I mean, then again, you knew that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
But that was always in the back of your head. But we did have one guy that escaped.
After being captured?
Yes.
Wow.
Escaped a prisoner of war camp. Got out, hitchhiked, got a bus, went all the way back to San Diego. They congratulated him. They gave him a new uniform. They took him and gave him dinner, put him on a bus and sent him back because he didn't finish his time.
Wow.
So, why? I mean, he got a lot of congratulations and that kind of stuff for doing that, but he still had to finish out his time.
So that was a week doing that.
Uh-huh.
And then what?
And then we were supposed to go to Vietnam, but everything had been delayed. So I worked on what they call it, a Liberty ship, Liberty boats. And we had bike boats that would go from from Coronado Island, because at that time, if you've ever been there, they got a bridge that goes to the island now.
Yeah.
Didn't have it then. It was just
Okay.
a ferries. And we would load guys in a mike boat. I don't know if you know what a mike boat is.
Mm-mm.
It's a landing craft, mechanical, the big ones with the ramp that falls.
Yeah.
And we had Liberty boats. We had the benches in them. We would take them from Coronado across the bay into San Diego and run a shuttle in the evenings. And I did that for a while, and then here in come the orders. On a plane we went.
Did they train you to do something specific on the boat, or were you just kind of a master of lots of things?
Yeah, when you're just a seaman, you're it's like a private in the Army. You do anything they tell you.
Okay.
I mean, we took the boats out of the water and they painted them and all chip paint and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing glorious.
Yeah. Were you enjoying that okay?
It was all right. I
Yeah.
mean, once you're there, if you get your mind into the military forethought, in a military mind,
Yeah.
then the stuff ain't that bad.
Okay.
Even the what they call the crap jobs, different word. Yeah, you just know, yeah, it's a bummer. I'm mopping a floor, but
Yeah.
I'm getting paid good money to mop a floor.
Yeah.
So
they ship you over on a boat, or did they fly you?
Oh no, we flew.
Okay.
We flew from here to Hawaii, so I can say I've been in Hawaii.
Okay.
I didn't get off the plane, but I was in Hawaii. And then we went to the Philippines, and I had something wrong with the plane, and we were there for 4 or 5 hours. And then we went, landed in Tokyo and refueled, and then landed in Saigon, and it was way after dark. And they put us up in tents, and the next morning they gathered us up, and again, our barge wasn't there. It was still in Japan. So they sent us up to I'm trying to remember the name of the place now, Cameron Bay.
And how many guys did they send up there? How many?
Oh, a whole,
what
like a
are
whole
we talking
company.
about? What's a company?
I
Hundreds?
don't know, not hundreds, probably 50.
Okay. You pretty good friends with most of these guys at this point?
Oh yeah, because in Cameron Bay we didn't have anything to do,
Yeah.
and it's a resort town for as far as Vietnam goes.
Yeah.
The beaches are white, the water's clear.
Hmm.
We were right on the ocean. So we swam during the day and played softball when it cooled off a little bit. We were there for a month,
Wow.
and then the boat came in and we went down. So, and on a barge, this is a seagoing barge they took and built a superstructure on it. I don't know. I had pictures. I've got scrapbooks I was going to bring.
Oh.
I can't find them.
Oh, man.
I'll find them
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay.
You know
How
that
big
goes.
is this barge, would you say?
A couple 100 feet, if not more.
So big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had machine rooms, and it had electrical rooms, and it had electronic rooms, and it had a galley, and that's all above. And then down below was the berthing. And we were there to support the PBRs,
PBR.
Patrol Boat River,
Okay.
a river patrol boat.
Yeah.
And
So that was under Navy, not...
yes,
Okay.
yes, we were all Navy. The Air Force had bases around, but
Yeah.
we were Navy. And on the river, the Mekong Delta River, down in the Delta.
And was the barge moving around, or
No.
was it was stationary? It was
It
just
was-
kind of it was like a base out on the water.
It was, anchored right to with a gangplank to the shore.
Yeah. And you said it had a superstructure on it. What do you mean by that?
Well, a barge, it had a bow on it, and it came down
Yeah.
and it was flat so they could put cargo on it.
Yeah.
They built a superstructure where that cargo goes, just a square box sitting on top of it.
What are they doing there? Like repair the boats or something? Okay.
We had a big crane on it. We could
Yeah.
take the boat out of the water and set it on the cradle that we had, and they would repaint it, repair it,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
And so that was what you guys were going to do. You guys are just going to help all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we were just support. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, the berthing departments, we had, can't remember how many boats were there, but the PBR guys had their own berthing compartment, and we had ours.
Yeah.
And Navy berthing is, unless you're a sailor, it's hard to understand. A bed in the Navy onboard ship is a rectangular pipe made out of the corners, squared threaded pipe with a canvas stretched on
Okay.
between them, okay?
And the canvas acts as like the mattress. or
No,
whatever,
and then you got a mattress that's on
Oh,
there.
okay.
But on the wall, bulkhead, there's hooks that hold this pipe.
Okay.
And on the outside, there's chains with hooks in it. So when you get up in the morning, you take your rack and push it up against the wall so that you can get to your locker, which is on the bottom.
Okay.
So that's what Navy folks sleep on. And the littler you are, the higher up it is. So that you're not weighting down the guy in
How many are there on a
6.
6 stacked?
Uh-huh.
Wow. And how much space between you and the guy above you?
Maybe 6 inches.
Oh man.
And you get,
So you don't want to be claustrophobic on the boat.
no. And you get a mattress cover. It's actually called a fart sack. And the mattress goes in it like a pillowcase. And then half the week you turn it over. And on a week you get a new one. Same with a pillow, and you get one blanket and it's wool. And that's it. So that's Navy berthing. You find that on every ship in the Navy.
Are you worn out so you just get used to it and fall asleep? Because I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
everyone's snoring and farting and
Yeah. Yeah. You just get used to it, yeah.
okay.
And we had to stand watches during the day and at night. This barge had a crow's nest on it, which was fun. And 50 caliber machine guns mounted and some 60 millimeter mortars. And we used the mortars a couple of times to send flares out is all.
Were you hearing action around you? Were you close to any? You were close to fighting there then?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh yeah, the boats were getting shot at all the time.
All the time.
And in the river, there's a plant. I can't think of anything around here that's like that. It floats, and it's in clumps. And a clump as big as a dinner plate or cover an acre of ground,
Wow.
and anywhere in between. And they float down the river. And the VC would take and attach a mine to that clump and then just let it float and blow up whatever it hits. So we got to shoot at them at night, and they had big lights that lit up the water. And as these things come floating by, we got to shoot at them so that if there was a mine, we'd explode it.
You shooting the 50 cal at them?
Oh, no, just a rifle.
Okay.
Just an M14 or an M16.
How often were things blown up?
No, we never hit one
Oh, okay.
that blew up that I knew of.
Yeah.
And it's fun to shoot from up in that crow's nest down into the water. That was fun. We
Yeah.
kept hoping it'd drift by so we could shoot at it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then is in November.
How long you been over there at this point?
We got over there in February.
Okay.
First part of, no, about the middle of February.
Okay.
And so it's, things went on. There was 2 guys in the ET shack, electronics technicians, that played guitars. So they sent and got kits to make guitars and an amplifier and a microphone and everything. And they would sit in this ET shack and play their guitars. Well, I found out about it, and I'm a singer. You can't tell by my voice now, but I am. And so I got in with them, and we had our own little three-piece band. We'd work on a few songs and play them for the guys. And
Oh, that's cool.
we even went in town into one of the bars in town and did a gig. So,
How often were you going into town?
well, it was just right there. It was, you could go every night if you didn't have duties.
So they were cool with that.
Yeah.
And how were the locals to you guys?
They treated us good. They were, they treated us good because without us, they would be
Right.
in communism, which like they are now. But
How many boats were running off your the barge, would you say? A dozen or?
yeah, about right about. I was going to say 12 to 14
And describe those. What are those boats officially called?
river patrol boats.
And how big were they?
They're about a 25 foot fiberglass boat, twin V6 diesels, water jets, so they can go in shallow water, as shallow as, with all the guns and ammo on board. They do sink a little, take up a little draw.
And how many, normally how many guys are on one of those when they go out?
1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5.
And they have a gun on them?
They have a twin 50 mounted in the bow, a 50 caliber mounted on the side, a 30 caliber machine gun mounted on the other side. They have plates coming off the engine covers
Okay.
that are armored, so
Yeah.
you can hide behind.
Yeah.
And they, yeah, that's it.
Who made that? Were they made by one manufacturer or no?
I guess, I don't know. I never did it.
Man, I'm surprised they were fiberglass.
Yeah.
I always assumed they were just metal or something.
Well, the Swift boats were. The Swift boats are. Swift boat is, they're again Brown Navy, but they're coastal.
Okay. Are they the same size, similar?
No, the Swift boat is an aluminum boat, different shaped bow.
Okay.
The PBR boats are shaped a lot like what you see on the lake around here,
Okay.
where they've got the bow that comes up and a flat bow.
Yep.
But the twin diesels, it would get up and move
Like how fast was its top speed?
in
when you guys-
around 40,
Wow. That's pretty good on water, man.
and it would throw a wake that you could surfboard behind, and we did.
Did you really?
One guy had some skis sent over to him, and he would ski behind it. So,
Was the river? Was it fresh water or was it bracken kind of? Or
it was dirty.
okay.
And the people who live on the river, they use that river for everything. Drinking water, cleaning out their dead animals, use it for toilet, and you see a water taxi going by. They're not very wide, a little bit wider than a canoe, but longer. And the little old lady sitting in there, take a cup and scoop it in the water,
Oh gosh.
take a drink.
They must have had good immune systems.
I guess it was. Yeah, anytime we got in the water, we had to go in and get defungused. What drips or drops in the ear and that kind of stuff.
Right. So primarily during this time, what's your function there? What are you doing?
Just supporting the boats.
Yeah.
And then in November, three of us went R&R, rest and relaxation, to Japan, to Tokyo, in November. So you go from 87, 90 degrees in Vietnam to 30 in November in Tokyo. It gets cold in Tokyo.
Did you have clothes for it?
We did when we got there. I didn't I was dressed in dress whites.
Yeah.
First thing I bought was a sheep-lined coat. And we went to a little town called Nikko, which had a fish hatchery. And that's all I ate because I do not like Oriental food.
Mm.
Why I went to Tokyo, I'll never know. But there was a hotel up there that was almost closed for the season. And they took us in, and I had fish every night. The waiter didn't even ask what I wanted. They just brought me fish. And then we went back to Saigon, and just before we caught a plane to go back to the barge, we got word that it had been mined. And they figured that it had to be a diver. Couldn't have been on one of them floating things because it was too heavy. And they figured 40 pounds of explosive against the side of the barge, which is on the outside there was the tank
Yeah.
for diesel, which fed our generators and the boats. 40,000 gallons of diesel, and when it blew that diesel fuel all up.
And
And
you missed that then.
Just by a couple of days, yeah. Thank goodness. Well, I don't know what thank goodness. Maybe I'd have been able to help somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it put diesel fuel all over, and then it caught on fire. So up on the top deck, there's a 4-inch rim, and so you got 4 inches of diesel burning. And it burnt. It had a canvas cover on over the top of the barge, and it burnt that off, of course. The one guy that was in the crow's nest, he didn't make it.
Mm.
One of the guys down in the engine room, when it blew, it knocked a big machine over on him. He didn't make it. And there was like 4 PBR guys that didn't make it because it blew right at, you had the side of the barge, which was a tank, and then another bulkhead, and then air conditioner units, and it blew all them right over, and got these guys in their rack.
While they were sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
It was the middle of the night they did this.
Mm-hmm. And
So you caught word of that when you were in Saigon before you went back.
yeah, so we went to they towed it to a different place, and they had welders underneath water welders. Weld a big patch on the hole, pumped all the water out, and that way we could get to the remains of them other guys. And then while the rest of that was going on, the rest of us was trying to clean the soot off the top. Actually, it was just busy work. And then they split us all up.
So when you got back, what was it like seeing the ship like that?
It was very demoralizing, of course. And
Yeah.
the guy that got caught in the crow's nest, he's a good friend of mine, so.
Mm.
And
Did that make you think, gosh, I just dodged a bullet not being here?
yeah. Yeah, it was not a good day or a week. Anyway, they split us all up. One of a friend of mine that was from Utah went with the barge back to Japan for real repairs.
Right.
And I never did see him again. But some of us went one place, some of us went others. And I went down to, I can't remember the name of Dong Tam, where the barge was stationed was Tan Chau. And there was a poem going around, I'm sure it's still going around, about we of Tan Chau or we of wherever, military thing, about how bad it is and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I took that and I made a couple of changes to it and I sent it home. And my mother took to pen and wrote back a poem that said, we of hometown, how they're supporting us and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And it was actually printed up in the Ogden Standard.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. She sent it to them, and they said, we don't usually do this, but seeing as how the subject matter is, and they printed it up.
How often were you getting mail from home? How did that work?
There is an adage, and it's true, about you can hear a chopper from miles away before you can see him. to this day, I hear Life Flight or one of the choppers. I know it's there. I just can't see it. And we get mail every week, sometimes a little longer, but generally every week. You hear that chopper coming, and it's mail call.
Oh, so that you just got trained to,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, oh, this is mail's coming.
Yeah. So, and I had my mom send me my cowboy boots. They were snakeskin boots. And, of course, Levi's and a Western shirt. And when I'd go on the beach, I got to be known as a cowboy in town. and in Vietnam, cowboy is a real mean dude, like a gang leader is here.
Okay.
So they gave me all kinds of room, all kinds of leeway. So
That's
yeah,
great.
it was fun.
That's great.
Of course, I lost it when the bomb or the mine went off. Everybody lost all our clothes and everything. So, and then like I say, I went down to Dong Tam, and
How did they take you down there, by boat? Or did they fly you down there?
it was in a chopper, by the way.
Okay.
First time I'd ever been in a chopper.
Yeah.
And it's just another compound. It's another PBR support base.
Was it on a barge as well,
No.
or was it on
It was
land?
on land, and
Okay.
it was a good 5-6 miles from the river,
Okay.
and then just a compound.
Yep.
And actually, we had racks or beds like in a barracks, where there were just 2 bunk beds.
Yep.
So that was good. And they had over too many people because they just took us in.
Yep.
And they asked for volunteers for the boats. And then I said, heck yeah. I've worked on them and everything like that. I wouldn't mind riding on them,
Okay.
even though I hadn't been. See, in Coronado, they had training for that.
Yeah.
We didn't have training, but
Yeah.
they said, you've got enough training. Here you go. You're now a PBR guy. Okay.
What were you going to do on that?
I sat behind a twin 50 mount in the bow. It's the same boat as in that movie,
Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now, with Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
That same boat. And you see him, is it Netflix? Netflix right now has got a deal about the Vietnam War. And you'll see a little bit of it in there. They focused more on Army than they did
The Navy.
the Navy. All these, and deliberately too. Them guys, I feel sorry for them guys. They went through,
Which guys?
the Army guys.
Oh, different than the Navy guys.
Oh, well, yeah, they were on land. They were fighting.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
See, we were down there where it was relatively,
It was pretty mellow
we
down
were
there.
getting shot at every day. you
Yeah.
know. And
So how often would you go on patrols then?
24 hours on, 36 off.
Wow. And how far up the river? You just go.
We'd had an area to patrol.
Yeah.
And there's times you could just, at night, you get out in a wide spot of the river and you just shut everything off. And it's dark, and you're just sitting there. And you see on the radar, you see a sampan coming through. I wish I'd have brought that, couldn't find that scrapbook. Do you know what a sampan looks
No.
like?
What's a sampan?
It's a long, skinny boat. Not much wider than a canoe, but a whole lot longer.
Okay.
And they have a thatched roof on some of them, and they used them to transport arms and ammunition and that kind of stuff. And that's what we were there for, is to stop that. And there was times we found them.
Yeah.
So I got to,
But they would try and do that at dark so people didn't see him.
during the day too, didn't
Oh,
we?
okay.
But we had a Arvin translator on board. Jeez. And he would holler at them, and if they didn't slow down, I'd put a few rounds across the front of them.
How many people would be just one person on that boat?
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Sometimes it was a little family that lived on them.
Yeah.
They were transporting produce from
Right.
where they lived to town to the
Right.
market.
Right.
So 99% of them were legal. But if they didn't stop,
Because you guys would stop and search them.
uh-huh.
Yeah. And if you found stuff, what would you do? Just take the stuff?
Oh no, we'd take the whole damn boat. And just take them in and turn them in, and they would, especially to the Army guys, they'd take them.
Yeah.
So, and that was just normal. We did have one night, and they started shooting at us from the banks. And all you could do was go forward and hope that there was an opening into open water. Because, like I say, dark.
Were they lighting you up from both sides?
Uh-huh.
Was it, you feel like they just were waiting for you guys, or was this kind of serendipity?
Yeah, probably by accident type thing. Because they didn't know we were there.
And you guys just unleash holy hell on them when?
We were shooting both ways and both motors at full speed, yeah.
And what's your heart racing? Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, it's right at first, yeah.
Is it pitch dark at this point?
Mm-hmm, very dark. The guy that was driving the boat was screaming and hollering until the skipper of the boat, which is just a petty officer, handed him a .45 pistol, and he started shooting, and it calmed him right down. And that's, once you start shooting back, to some people it calms down, some people it doesn't. And they get so radical, they're just shooting everywhere. Anyway, I don't know what kind of damage we did, if we did any, but we got out into open water, and
So it eventually opened up.
yeah.
How long do you think that went on? Or can you not tell because it just so
Yeah.
out of body experience?
A minute, maybe, if
So,
less. It was
yeah.
just right away. And that was about one of the worst ones I was ever involved in. Other than that, we just stop them and search them, and they'd give us a banana, and away they'd go. And we over there they have I don't know why to tell you this. They have a swan that will get in a circle, and they'll all dive under together, feeding.
Okay.
And then it's a big white swan.
And you say they do it as a group or something?
Mm-hmm. They're in a circle.
Okay.
We would take a M79, which is a grenade launcher, and see how close to that circle we could get. And then we'd take the dead swan into town and trade them in the market in town mainly for cigarettes and that kind of stuff.
So the people like the swan.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
How far away would they be from the boat when you would be doing this?
50 yards, maybe 100,
Oh.
somewhere's in there.
Yeah.
It got to be, because that grenade launcher, you had to elevate it. You couldn't shoot flat.
Oh, you had to arc it a little bit.
Mhm.
So it was a little bit of a skill.
Yeah, it was, see who can do it, yeah.
How many swans could you get at one time?
The most we got, I think, was like 4.
Wow.
So, and they're pretty good size, bigger than a turkey.
Yeah.
And we also get the boat going about half speed and take a concussion grenade and pull a pin and throw it in the water. And then when it went off, we would go back and gather up the dead fish, take them to the town.
Would you get a ton of dead fish from doing that?
Now, not very often, no. But
Yeah.
there's a fish in that river that's a lot like a catfish.
The water spray from the explosion, was it huge from the?
Oh, yeah, you've seen it on TV where they blow a stick of dynamite in the
Yeah,
water.
is that what it was like?
Mm-hmm. A concussion grenade is about the size of a soup can, and it's all powder. It's
Yeah.
all explosive.
Yeah.
There's no metal. It's not a frag grenade. It's just for water.
So you got men, you got explosives, and you got time on your hands and boredom.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of stuff's going to happen when you're out there.
Mm-hmm. And they have a fish that is, I would say, 6 inches max. That is the adult length.
Uh-huh.
And they look a lot like what you might find around here in a fish tank, like an algae eater, that silvery color. And we had sea rations. We didn't get the good stuff like they got nowadays. we had canned stuff. And if you
Like what was a typical thing in the sea ration?
Oh, spaghetti and meatballs, pork and beans, that was a big one. You wanted that. Meatloaf, pound cake, you wanted that.
Hmm.
A round cracker they called John Wayne crackers, because he was the only kind of guy strong enough to eat one. But we would take one of them John Wayne crackers and throw it in the river, and all them little fish would
Come around it?
come around it eating off it, and then you'd take your 45 and shoot the cracker and see how many little fish could float. Well, we keep track. And if you've ever seen pictures of a guy, geez, that's got his dog tags, and he's got this little other thing hanging on the chain on the dog tags, that's PR38, or a P38, which is a can opener.
Ah,
You ever seen that?
yep.
Everybody had one, and then in your shirt pocket you had a spoon for the sea rations. So, and we took enough for 3 meals because we were or 6 meals because we were on the river for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Would you come home and just sleep for when you got back to
yeah, yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, you still you got 36 hours, so
Yeah.
you can't sleep for 36 hours.
No. But were you awake the full 24 though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so how long did you do that for then?
From, like I want to say, the end of November until February, mid-February, when I come home. But I was there for the 68 Tet Offensive, which was the biggest one they've ever had.
And describe that for people.
Jeez, I'm sorry about that.
You're okay.
Tet Offensive is like the Chinese New Year. They celebrate New Year's the end of January, not first like we do. And it's a religious type thing with the Buddhists, and it was a big thing for the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong, a big attack time. And the 68 Tet Offensive, Saigon almost fell. They really hit Saigon bad. And they hit us down there at that compound. And
Did you guys have warning that it was going to happen?
we just that that time of day or that time of year.
Yeah. You know something's going to happen.
Yeah. And of course, they hit us at night. Now, our compound butted up against an ARVN compound, which is Army of Vietnam.
Okay.
And so they wanted to attack the ARVN compound more than us, but they had to come by us to get to them. And I was in the compound then. I wasn't on the boat. So,
And before you go into it, describe the compound for me. How big was it?
oh my goodness. A 100 people?
Oh, so not that big.
No.
Like the size of a football field, maybe?
Yeah.
Surrounded by a fence?
No, well, it was kind of a fence, yeah.
Razor wire and all that kind of stuff?
No.
No, nothing.
Just a fence.
Yeah.
Just like, well, it was barbed wire and razor wire,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a big,
Right.
heavily security type thing.
Right. You had guard towers there?
No, well, yes, we did, up on the roof of the building, one
Okay.
building.
Okay.
But we,
And were you in buildings or tents?
buildings.
Okay.
And I was up on the roof of the one, and
Is this night?
at night, after midnight.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have a general quarter station, but I went up on the roof, and there was this M79 sitting there. It's a grenade launcher and a whole box of ammo. So I had a good time. And,
How did the whole thing start? Did they start it?
yeah, they came in and they took over the ARVN guard bunker, you might
Okay.
say, sandbags in a circle.
Yep.
And they took it over, and we took them out. because I was dropping them in 79 rounds
How many you popping off a minute doing that?
just as quick as I could reload.
Is it a single?
It's a break front like a shotgun,
Oh, okay.
single barrel.
How far would it shoot them?
I could get them to go 100, 150 yards.
So they were close to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a 40 millimeter, so it's yay big around, and it throws out shrapnel like a hand grenade, only you're
Right.
shooting it.
Right.
And you can't shoot it straight because it don't have that much power.
You got to lob it.
You got to lob it, and when you shoot it, it don't go bang, it goes punk, and then it throws that out, and then it goes bang.
Oh, you mean when you fire it goes poof,
Yeah,
like it's coming out of a tube?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's about that. It's about 18
Yeah.
inches
But like
long.
a kind of a low thud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I went through probably 40 of them that night.
Wow. And machine guns are going.
Yeah, the guns are going.
Are there flares going? Could you see it?
Yeah, we had some pop flares going on.
Yeah.
A pop flare is a handheld flare. It's about the same size as a road flare around here,
Yeah.
only you take the one end off and put it on the bottom, and it's got a pin in it, and you hit it, and it throws up a flare.
How long does it sit up there? Lighten up.
20 seconds maybe.
Oh, so it's short.
Mm-hmm. And there was some of them going off, and there was machine gun going off, and there was rifles going off, and it was noisy. And the next morning, everybody's congratulating everybody.
Okay. How long did the fighting go on, would you guess?
Maybe an hour. I shouldn't say that. Maybe 20 minutes heavy,
Yeah.
and then sporadically for an hour or so.
How many guys, could you tell how many guys were attacking, or was that just kind of a mystery?
They wore black pajamas and black night, so no.
Wow.
But anyway, they come in and cleaned them up.
And
And then we got...
were you fearful they would overrun, or did you were pretty sure what was going through your head?
Yeah, they got word that they were going to overthrow the compound, so we evacuated. And
You mean after?
the next morning,
Okay. So they were going to throw more guys at you guys.
Mhm. That's what the word was.
Did you guys lose anybody that night?
So they took incendiary grenades and set them on all the filing cabinets, burned up all our records,
Hmm.
because it burns right through. An incendiary grenade will burn through an engine block.
Wow.
And then we gathered on trucks and headed for the boats, where the boat dock. And there was Mike boats there. And so we're going through farm area and then into town, and through town, and there's people running, and we get down to the sheds where the maintenance sheds for the boats, and where the Mike boats are at. We started unloading trucks into these boats, and we took fire from. Now, it's hard to explain, but it's like a street going down there with shops on one side and then the river. And there's housing on this side and housing on that side. Well, they started shooting at us from housing on this side, and there's thatched huts. And so we started shooting back, and one guy got a brilliant mind to use a pop flare to shoot straight into one of them huts, and started on fire. And when it did, the guys would run out, and when they run out, we would take care of them. And
Hold it. Now, are you guys on boats at this point?
no, my boat was down there.
Yeah. You're in the process of loading stuff on the boat. You're just
Yeah,
they're trying to get you before you get out of town.
Yeah.
Okay.
and basically we burned the place to the ground. And then we got it on the boats.
Did it quiet down, or did it just kept going?
Oh, and it quieted down. We took care of
Once you took care of
them.
that.
They were toast, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went out and spent the night on an LST, which is a landing ship, the ones you see in the movies where the whole bow opens.
Yep. How far out in the water was that? Was it pretty far out there?
Yeah, LSD. I can't remember if it was an LST or LSD. The smaller one in the river,
Okay.
not ocean going. We spent the night, getting the word the next morning, everything's fine, so we go back.
To the base.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And it's still there.
Yeah.
But as we're unloading stuff from the Mike boats onto the trucks, they hit us from the other side.
The side that didn't burn down.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we hit them with the pop flares and the M79s and the ammo and took care of them and burnt that half down and went back to the compound and everything was fine. No, they hadn't touched it.
Wow.
We did more damage with the incendiary grenades than they did, so.
The stuff that you burnt down, would that be like 100 yards?
No. Oh, yeah.
Like that, 100 yards long of
Yeah,
houses
it
or
would-
thatch houses stuff?
Half a block,
Oh, okay. Wow.
so.
Okay. So you're back at the base.
And,
Did it worry you to be at the base, considering that you've evacuated it and they said it was going to be overrun?
oh, we were, well, of course, we got word that they didn't overrun it.
Yeah.
And then we alternated. When you were on the boat, you were on the boat. When you're not, you were standing watches and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember I was on the radio one day, and I cannot remember the call sign for my boat, but I remember the call sign when I was there. My call sign was Courtly Grapes Lima. Why I still remember that, I don't know, and I don't remember the call sign when I was on the boat. But we called in an airstrike, and lo and behold, overhead was coming 3 F-4 Phantoms, just like what you used to.
And what was making you call? What was making you call in the airstrike?
Just you could. We got word that they were. Charlie was all over town, and so we had to call in. We had patrols going out. Okay.
Yeah.
The SEALs. We had some SEALs in our compound. They went out. They saw what was going on. Radioed to us. We called in an airstrike.
So you actually called in the strike.
Mm-hmm. And it was the F-4s come. I didn't know what an F-4 was. It was a neat-looking airplane. And those guys, I could hear them talking between each other. I'm getting ready for my run now. And then they took a rocket from the ground, and it hit the one in the wing, and the wingtip come flying off. And that pilot so calmly goes, whoops, I took one, guess I ought to go back, with half his wing shut off. I mean, those guys,
They have some stones.
yes, of steel.
Yeah.
And then the others, of course, they dropped napalm, and if you've never seen napalm, they don't use it anymore. I think they outlawed it.
So they dropped it at that point.
Oh, yeah. There
What was that like? What did you see?
Flames. Napalm is just gelled gasoline, and it don't drop like a bomb. It tips.
Okay.
When you see these Vietnam movies or Vietnam documentaries, and you see that silver tube just a dancing, and then when it hits, it's just flames. That's napalm.
How far away was that from where you were?
Half a mile.
Wow. Could you feel the heat coming off?
A little
of it?
bit, yeah. So, yeah, they were getting ready to one part of the compound that was just a field and then trees, and they were massing in them trees.
Ah.
And our SEAL team knew it, and that's why they told us where they were, and we told the airplanes where they were.
And that was it.
And we toasted a few that day, yeah.
Those planes are pretty awesome, those F-4s.
Well, yes. And then long after I got back, I went to work at Hillfield, and the first time I walked in the hangar, there was all these F-4s. And I went, I know them guys. So.
So, okay, what happened after the airstrike then?
Oh, just more stuff. And then we got called to go, it was me and another guy. Our time's done. So we They took us by chopper into Saigon. And Saigon at that time, there was a lot of fires. There was a lot of buildings, not destroyed, but damaged. And you didn't go anywhere without a Jeep in front of you and a Jeep behind you. You're on a bus.
It was too scary to go around anymore.
The Jeeps had 50 calibers mounted on them, yeah.
Wow.
And there was no running around town. There was no. They took us into the offices and did our paperwork.
And that had changed from the time you landed there, right?
Oh yeah, it was.
Because this is 67 now?
No, 68.
68, okay.
February 68.
Okay.
We got there in February 67.
Yeah.
And we had our choice of staying in a compound or a tent city.
Yeah.
Or the airport. We'll take the airport.
Yeah.
So we spent that night in the airport and got on a plane the next day and took off and was never so glad to leave a place in my life. So.
I'll bet.
And we were able to go up and catch a jet stream, so we were able to fly nonstop from Saigon to San Francisco.
Wow.
And they'd paid us in the offices there in Saigon, so we had money. First thing we did was went down and bought a new uniform, because I flew over there, or back in the greens. I don't know if you've ever seen the green uniform everybody wore. Green pants, green shirt, green.
Yeah.
And if you saw that movie, Apocalypse Now, you saw them guys in a green uniform.
Yeah.
We all did.
Yeah.
Even the Army, the camouflage uniforms were just coming out.
Oh, so it was just straight green for the most part.
Yeah, they're just a olive drab green.
Yeah.
And so we went down and I bought a new gabardine dress blue uniform so that I could fly in it in a real airplane.
Yeah.
Plus I bought some clothes that I could wear. So.
Man, that must have been a relief.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, San Francisco my uncle lived there, so we went out on the town that night. And then I caught a plane into Salt Lake the next day and got home. And I got home at night, took a bus from Salt Lake Airport into Ogden, and then an Ogden City bus out to where my mom was living with my aunt and uncle. And she lived in the basement, and her bedroom was on one side, and the bathroom was on the other, and the living room in the middle. And there was a couch there that faced the wall, the TV. I just went down and laid on that couch. And she got up in the morning and went into the bathroom and back and forth and come around the end of the couch, and I'm sleeping on that couch. Because I couldn't tell her it was coming, Anyway, she let out a war whoop and reached down and grabbed a hold of me and I almost knocked her down. One thing it did to me over there is I don't have the flashbacks like a lot of guys do. I do, but they're not screaming flashbacks like some of the guys that were there.
Yeah.
And but I still do. Everybody that was there does. There's things that I haven't told you and I'm not going to. When anybody goes to war, whether it be a jungle or a desert, there's things you experience that you don't want anybody else to know, except for the guys that were there with you. You don't tell anybody. You don't get married and tell your wife what you did over there, and things you saw. But there's times that you look back on fondly, like taking the geese or the swans into town and the friends you had that you'd banter around with, and you played softball and this kind of thing. So every soldier that it goes in anywhere near combat is that way. And it used to be called shell shock years and years and years ago. Now it's PSTD or whatever it is. And some have it worse now. I'm lucky. Like I say, I have a flashback now and again, but not that I wake up screaming.
Yeah.
It'll wake me up, but it's not that big a deal. And so I feel lucky in that way. I feel lucky that I was over there for a year and saw some stuff that I don't want to talk about, don't want to remember. And now it's over with. So excuse me. So I came home, 30 days leave, and I went back to go on board a ship, ships, in California.
San Diego?
No,
Again?
north. Anyway, I'll think of it. And when I got there, the ship had been extended overseas.
So there was no ship.
There was no ship for me to go, so they put you in transit barracks. Now, I've learned enough of the transit barracks are the crap details. They send you all over the base cleaning up garbage and, mopping floors.
Yeah.
So I went out to muster that first morning in my dress blues. Not my dungarees, my dress blues.
Strategically.
Uh-huh.
Because you didn't want to be looked at as that guy.
And he saw that, and he says, I got an opening at the Armed Forces Radio and Television Station. And I went, cool. And it was in North Hollywood. So you go to the main gate at the base, and you turn in your Liberty card, and they give you a set of keys to a car. And there was 4 of us. And we drive from Long Beach into North Hollywood to the Armed Forces Radio and Television Station. And the first couple of days, we boxed up film to be sent all over all the armed forces. I mean, movie night, when you're...
Oh, yeah, big deal.
When you're deployed, movie night's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then on the 3rd day, I come walking in dress blues, and the one guy goes, what did you do? And I says, electronics. And he goes, I want you. And he took me into a place that had 3 reel-to-reel recorders. And, of course, it was all just audio. And I did what that little gal's doing, and he interviewed people. And then we would go to lunch.
And you were running the recording machines?
Mm-hmm. I was running the machine.
Were they Nagras? Do you remember?
The what?
Nagra? You know the brand of the recording machine?
Oh, no. It's the big reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
I don't know what brand they were. Could have been Nintendo. I don't know.
You enjoyed doing that?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't have to mess with dirty reels of film. And so I got to go to lunch with Frankie Avalon. And some of we got one of the guys that played baseball for the Dodgers. Don't remember him. And anyway, all the guys people he interviewed, we'd go to lunch. And I was scheduled to go to lunch the next morning with Connie Stevens.
Who's Connie Stevens? I don't even know who that is.
She was, how do I say it? She was almost like the Taylor Swift of the day.
Okay. She was a singer?
No.
An actress. Yeah.
Strawberry red hair.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't know Connie.
No, I don't know.
You're not as old as I thought you were.
No.
But anyway, I get back to the compound, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and the guy goes, your ship came in. Oh, God. And not in a good way. So I went on board that destroyer that night.
You missed Connie.
I'd missed Connie.
Oh.
And the next morning, they moved her over into dry dock because when she was overseas, they got in some bad weather, and some waves had been hitting the bow and hitting that forward gun mount and put a crack in the deck. So as long as we got to fix it, let's fix the whole thing. So dry dock is a lot like what we did with airplanes at Hillfield. They draw all the water. You're sitting on a rack, supports, and they take all the water off. They clean all the barnacles off it. They repaint it. Outside, fix everything up. Inside, do modifications and that kind of thing. So
it's a total refurb of that boat.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? A destroyer? What was it?
The destroyer,
Yeah.
USS Walk.
Yeah.
WALK. And I can't remember the number, 143, I think. Anyway,
So, like, what were you doing on that then?
I was an electronics striker, so I was in the electronics shop, taking out old equipment, rewiring, put in new equipment.
You enjoy doing that?
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
I wasn't out scraping paint.
Yeah.
And then they got it all done, and we're going to go out into the ocean. And then I'm going, oh, no. But anyway, it was kind of fun because my general quarters station was there was a little ET shack that sits up. You know what I
What's
mean?
ET shack mean?
Electronics.
Okay.
You've got the main deck, which is, and then you go up one, which is O1, and then O2, and this was up even higher. So you're up there looking down on the whole ship. And we went out and did practice general quarters and fired the guns, shot the torpedoes.
Was that awesome?
Yeah, because I'm up there, I can see it all. They tested the engines by running up full speed.
What was the name of the boat? Do you remember?
Walk, W-A-L-K.
Okay.
It's a destroyer.
Okay.
And shooting torpedoes off and shooting targets in the air with the guns. And I made 9 days of that. And then I got word they had to let me out. And this was in October. The 1st of October, they come in and docked. And me and another guy got off the ship, and they took on more stores, foods, untied, and away they went again.
And you didn't have to go back out?
No, I was going home.
You were done?
I was done.
Wow.
I went in, and I was going to bring it. They give me my little pink card that says, "You're not active anymore. I'm now just a reservist." And I was in my car headed out before the afternoon was done. So
You were out of Dodge there.
I was gone, yeah. And I came home, and I was still a reservist. But while I was on board the ship, back up a little bit. My mom was working at a seamstress place, and this young girl was working with her. And she said, "Would you like to write my son a letter?" She said, "Sure, I'll do that." So I got the letter, but I never had a chance to write back because I got out. I ain't going to write to her. I'll go give her a phone call. So I did. We got home. I gave her a phone call.
Do you know who she was? Never seen her?
We went out on a date the first night.
So it was a total blind setup.
And then she went up to Tremont with her high school. She was from Tremont with her high school friends. And then, anyway, we went out again on the second night. And on the third night, we got engaged. And we've been with her for 56 years.
Wow. That's
I think
pretty
it's
good. That's a
56.
good story.
69 to now is 50. I think it's 56, 55, 56, something like that.
You must have found her very attractive when you saw her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah. And, well, the first date lasted all night because we got done watching a movie or whatever and parked out in front of her house until the sun come up. Just talking. Believe me or not, just talking.
Yeah.
And then the second night was the same thing. So, and that was...
Oh, and how much later were you married? How long?
March.
Wow.
Yeah, that would have been October 68. And her brother was on a mission, and she wanted to wait until her brother got home. And that was mid-March. So we got married the 29th of March,
That's a great story.
the day Eisenhower died. We come out of the church, and the flags are at half-mast. And I went, "See, they're telling us something." Another one bites the dust. But, and then I went to my first reserve meeting, and they called me up front, and I'm going right in front of the whole company. And I didn't know what, and I got up there, and they gave me a unit citation award for the unit when we was in Vietnam. And it's not quite, well, it's not a Purple Heart, but it's a pretty prestigious medal. And everybody congratulated me, yeah. And I went out to Hillfield a couple of days later, see if I could find a job, And they said, well, you're military or used to be, yeah, and it's still reserved, this, that, and the other. And what did you do? And I said, well, I went to Vietnam for a year. You were in Vietnam? And I said, yeah. She said, you got a job. I said, doing what? She said, I don't know, we'll find you something. But at that time, if you were a Vietnam vet, you had a job at Hillfield. So there was more than just me. There was a bunch of us that were like that. And so I did a bunch of dexterity tests and written tests and that kind of thing. And seeing as how it was electronics in the Navy, they figured something electronic. So they put me in a plating shop. Well, it's electroplating. It had nothing to do with electronics whatsoever. It was plating chrome and cadmium and stuff like that. So I was there about 13 months, and then went out in the hangar out on the floor working on F4s.
F4s, wow. Was that fun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It was a lot of hands-on tools, and that didn't bother me. And
did you just deal electronics, or did you deal all parts of the plane?
Well, I started out electronics. They would bring a plane in, not electronics, electrician.
Yeah.
And they would bring a plane in, and another shop had already taken the engines out, and they'd tow it in and put it in our spot and jack it up, put it on jacks. We'd take the gear off. We'd get in us electricians would get in the cockpit, take all the instruments out, and then we would do modifications on it, rewiring.
Yeah.
This kind of thing. They had the big one was called a slat. They had slats that would go on the leading edge of the wing, which would throw more air over the wing, which would give the F4 more lift. As a big mule type of an airplane, and so they could turn sharper, make a U-turn sharper.
Right.
For air-to-air combat and that kind of thing. Or if a bomb strafe, you could get back in a line. Anyway, it helped the plane turn sharper. And they came up to me and another guy, and had this cage built out there on the floor. And they said, your wiring harnesses are in there, the blueprints are right here, and the plane's right there. Go for it. And so we had to use the blueprints, and luckily that we were I shouldn't say it, but we were two of the best guys they had in that area. And it was only due to the one airplane as a prototype.
Yeah.
And
how long did it take to do it?
3 months, because they had to do a lot of the sheet metal guys were on there. They had to do a lot of work, put in nut plates for clamps and this, that, and the other. And
I bet that was pretty satisfying.
it was. And after that, they brought in a whole bunch of engines that needed to be torn apart and scrapped, and they just brought them in, set them up, and took people from different. And I was one, and it was kind of fun. Dirty, but
yeah. Take
apart an engine, and you're standing right there working. It's not that big a deal. And then I went back to an electrician again, and then they loaned me into the fuel crew, which takes care of the fuel tanks on board the airplane. And so you're taking out old tanks and they're going in and doing some work, and you clean them. They had one modification where they put stiffeners on the bottom of the tank and the metal part of the tank, and then there's a rubber tank that goes in it. And So we'd take the tanks out, they'd do their sheet metal work, we'd put clean new tanks in, and they had to be laced. So you had to sit down in there and lace them up. And they had 7 fuel tanks on that airplane. Number 2 is right behind the cockpit. Number 7 is right in front of the tail, and they're all the way. And then plus all the lines above them, the fuel lines.
Yeah.
And the wings are hot, what they call wet, so there's fuel in the wings. And so, yeah, it was all over that. And I got to enjoying that, so I transferred in from an aircraft electrician to an aircraft mechanic, and was with the fuel crew for a few years, and then went back onto a dock and had a chance to get a job in what is called the west area of Hillfield, which is offices. So from crawling in fuel tanks and stinking, getting home, and your wife goes, "You was in a tank today, huh?" "Yeah." You walk in the house and go right to the shower. To sitting at a desk wearing a jacket and tie. But I didn't make it because I wasn't an electrician. So I went back and I want to go back to being an electrician. So they transferred me back. But because of all that, I knew that airplane from front to back, both mechanical-wise and electrical.
Yeah.
And so when I went back to electrician, and one of the mods they had was changing all the plugs. There's like 2,000 electrical plugs on that airplane.
Wow.
That go in, because your equipment is in a box, and you hook a plug to it and put it
Right.
in the cockpits, and they're all over the place. And then I got a chance for this job down in the west area. I went to the interview, and it was on missiles. And the guy says, "What do you know about missiles?" And I said, "Pointy end up." And when you don't test fly, because when you fire them, they don't come back. It's not like they do now. And he says, "That's right." And anyway, I got the job, so I moved from twisting wrenches down to playing on the computer, and I did what they call first articles, where they would contract small businesses, to manufacture parts for the airplane, and they would send us their first one they ever made, the first article they made, and I'd take it up to different testing places and then approve or disapprove it. And if we disapproved it, tell them why, and this, that, and the other. And that was rewarding, because I wasn't stuck at that desk. I got to drive all over the base.
Yeah.
And sometimes to the manufacturer's office or plant. I actually had to go in and teach them how to do a few things. And but we helped a lot of small businesses here in the area do that. I don't know how it is now.
Yeah.
But that was quite rewarding. And then they transferred all the first articles into one unit. And so then I worked on a crew. I was over a deal of technical orders, TOs, and was ahead of a group that every base that had missiles, like California, Minot, North Dakota, and Great Falls, Montana.
These are Minuteman?
Minuteman and Peacekeeper. Mm-hmm.
Is Peacekeeper before Minuteman? Or which one was?
After.
Okay.
Peacekeeper was the one that was named a different thing and caused a big stink. I can't remember what it was now, but they changed it to Peacekeeper and everything was okay. Same missile, different name.
Okay.
And
are these all liquid fuel? These missiles?
Solid fuel.
Solid fuel.
Mm-hmm. Rocket fuel.
Okay.
And anyway, we would get together every quarter and talk about TOs, and they would take suggestions, and then we would send them up to different people and approve or disapprove the change. And that was kind of fun. So, and
What,
then
did you like dealing with the missiles then?
Mm-hmm.
What's something people don't know about the missiles that they would find interesting?
I don't know how much I can tell you. That they would find interesting?
Yeah.
Just that they're not manned. They're ready to go. They are manned 24 hours. And you've seen it in movies where you got the two guys with keys,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing.
Are they underground, those guys?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Near the silos themselves, I guess, or separated far away from them?
Each command center's got more than one silo.
Okay.
Some of them, they differ in number sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah, and like I say, you've seen it in the movies and stuff. And you can go down in the silo, and it's kind of on Hillfield. They've got a demo missile in a silo,
Yeah.
but it's dummy.
Yeah.
You go out like to Great Falls, like I did once, and you go down in that silo, and you're walking down. You're from here to that wall away from that missile, and you know it's got an atomic bomb on it, and it's full of rocket fuel.
It's intimidating.
A little unnerving, you know.
Yeah.
But and then there's all kinds of equipment around. There's all kinds of different levels you can stand and work on.
How much, is there a lot of maintenance on those things? It's constant?
Periodic stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of electronics and warnings. They'll get a warning signal, and they'll put in, hey, we've got a flashing light on this piece of equipment, da-da-da-da. And so a crew would go out and take care
Right,
of it.
right.
But then I retired. But before that, in 1973, I joined the Davis County Sheriff's Search and Rescue.
And what made you do that?
I always wanted to help people, and I wanted to. In my day and age, policemen were revered, not like they are now. And I always wanted to do that. And my cousin wanted to do that. He's older than me, and he applied to we were in Wyoming, but he applied to the Wyoming Highway Patrol, and they told him he was too little.
Hmm.
Well, he's bigger than me, so what have I got? Why? So when I heard that there was such a thing as search and rescue through the sheriff's department, I went, well, here's a chance. And so
Was that voluntary? Was it paid?
Mhm.
It was
No, it's voluntary.
And how many guys were with you or people were with you on that?
We had average between 20 to 30 people
Okay.
in Davis County.
Okay.
And
And you could be called at any time. Hey, we need
yeah,
some help.
anytime. And have been.
Yeah.
And it's, unless you've got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and went up and climbed the mountain, the Wasatch Front right there. Yeah, that's fun to climb them hills at midnight.
Mm.
But anyway, I kind of lost my train there.
After you joined.
I joined them and got, there was a state association and a national. Now the national, I shouldn't say it's national, it's more intermountain, but they called it national.
Yeah.
And it was basically, we had groups from Arizona. I think there was 2 from Arizona, 2 from California, 2 from Oregon, the whole state of Montana, Idaho, 1 from Wyoming, the whole state of Utah, and 3 from Las Vegas or Nevada, and that made up, quote, national. And anyway, we kind of heard about these quarterly meetings that Utah has. Utah had them quarterly and national 3 times. And my wife says, are you going to this meeting? And I went, no. She says, you either get in search and rescue or get out. Okay, so we went to our first Utah State quarterly meeting and had a ball. You meet people from all over the state, which growing up, living on welfare a lot of times, I didn't get to travel the state. But by going to these meetings, I did. I'd never been to St. George. Well, I've driven through St. George between here and California, but I'd never been to like Kanab and the Red Dirt and Zion Park and all
Yeah.
that. And so we got active in state, and then along come national. We got active in national, and started. We wouldn't miss one. I spent a year on the board, the elected board in state, as a quartermaster. I could have went further, but it didn't. I didn't really interest me that much. I could say what I wanted to say without being an officer. And then in national, the same thing. But we went to a meeting in Barstow, California, and it was very poorly attended. So when it come time to elect officers, there wasn't that many left. So they stuck me in as quartermaster. And I thought, well, as long as I'm here, I just will go up. So I went from that to second vice commander to vice commander, and spent a year, 1987 and 88, as commander.
You enjoy that?
Very much. Yeah, we made friends from all over Idaho and Wyoming, and just people we still see today. And I got to be pistol chairman, which means at these meetings they would have a pistol shoot. They'd have something to do. Conventions, they had pistol shoot, a road rally, which was fun, four-wheel driving, and first aid competitions. And I knew I was a good shot, so I got involved in that. And I was pistol chairman in state and national for 20 years, probably. Run all the shoots, and I got to give away the trophies, and that's where I got to be like an MC. I got to MC a bunch of the
Oh, that's fun.
conventions and stuff. So,
Tell me some of your experiences in rescue that stand out in your mind.
again, there's some that you don't want to remember,
Yeah.
especially little kids that didn't turn out good. Let me put it that way. And there's others that you do. I was on the mountain team, so that was fun. To throw a rope off a cliff and then rappel down it, that was fun. We had a deal in Bountiful one year, one of their celebrations, and they brought their brand new fire truck out that had a bucket on it. We tied ropes to it and went up in that bucket 80 feet and then free rappelled down.
Mm.
That was fun. And that kind of thing. And we had a lot of fundraisers where we threw dunk tanks and this kind of thing. And we'd 4th of July, we'd go to all the parades, local, Clearfield,
Yeah.
Layton, Kaysville, and then we'd get together and we had a dunk tank, and we'd set up zip lines for
Yeah.
let kids run their zip lines.
Yeah.
All as a fundraiser type thing, because it's all volunteer, and 99% of it was your own equipment. To become a member of the search and rescue, you had to have a four-wheel drive truck or vehicle. Well, not even a car, a Jeep maybe, because originally it started in Bountiful. Bountiful, Utah was the first four-wheel drive search and rescue group ever. And they were called the Bountiful Jeep Posse, because they all had Jeeps. And then it just progressed from there and went statewide and then went national. So
How many rescues did you go on, would you guess?
30, 40, if not more.
You made a statement when we talked earlier about just the high of.
Oh,
Tell me about that.
we had one where we were looking for a 2.5-year-old kid that had just wandered away from home, we hoped. And as it turned out, that's what happened. She just wandered away from home. And I was lucky enough to see her and go pick her up. You're going to do it to me, ain't you? And I had the honor of holding that baby and giving it back to its mother. There's not a high in the world that gives you that feeling. There was some where we had bad news, but a good feeling of a good, successful rescue, you can't beat it with any drug that is sell on the street. I've never tried any of them, but I'm sure you can't.
Yeah.
So one of my things that I tell high school kids and young kids, get into some kind of volunteer. Doesn't have to be search and rescue. You got to be 21 to do that. But get into something that you volunteer and helping people. It'll keep you off the streets. Give you a purpose. So if you know anybody that is thinking of that, I can't recommend it more than anything. Yeah, sometimes it gets political in the group and that kind of thing, but it's so well worth it. But I was even the liaison between the sheriff's office and the different search and rescues in the county, and that's the Davis Search and Rescue, the Horse Posse, and Jeep Bountiful. So I'd get to go to their meetings, and the Horse Posse give me a horse to ride in all the parades and that kind of thing. And been a while since I'd been on a horse, so that was a treat. So,
tell me about Honor Flight.
Oh, I was going to bring my coins to let you see them. Dang it.
First, describe for somebody what Honor Flight is and how did you find out about it and your experience?
My granddaughter put me in for it, and a friend of mine who is she's a officer in the Army right now, getting ready to retire. But anyway, she put me in for it also. And I just got a phone call saying, you've been picked for the Honor Flight.
Had you heard of it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see it on the news, on TV, when they would go, and there'd be guys pushing guys in a wheelchair and this, that, and the other. And
Yeah.
I mentioned, that might be fun. And, yeah, they called, and you're going, you can either go the end of April or the end of May. And I went, we'll go the end of May. That's my birthday.
And who was your person that took you?
My granddaughter.
Okay.
And she was very active, and she grew up in search and rescue. She was very active, and she actually was a good shot after I taught her. And she was involved in that quite a bit. Anyway, she put me in for it, so we went together. But anyway, we went to I picked the 27th of May. And then I found out that a good friend of mine from Search and Rescue from Montpelier, Idaho, was going on the 22nd of April. And if I'd have picked the 22nd of April, we'd have went together. And I tried to change, and they wouldn't let me. So, but that would have been cool. But yeah, we had a meet and greet where you went in and you got a shirt and you got a hat that says Honor Flight on it and this, that, and the other. And we went down to Provo at 5 o'clock in the morning. They fed us a little breakfast and put us on an airplane. And I'd been on airplanes before, but by then it was daylight. And when you taxi out, here's this big fire engines, the big yellow ones. And I didn't realize what was going on until you go past it and they shoot water over you. And I thought, well, that's cool. That's a salute. That's cool. And then we'd get in the air, 3-hour flight, nonstop. And there's I think, yeah, there's 50 veterans and 50 guardians. They call them guardians.
Yeah.
And they come out with mail call. One of the things that everybody look for when you're in the service is mail call. And they had this envelope, and it had all kinds of letters in it from grade schools, from kids, one from the governor, and one from each senator, and this, that, and the other. And thank you for your service cards from the kids, grade school, third graders, was cool. I still got them. I'll have them. And we landed in Dulles, and you get off the plane and you walk through, and they hold you all together, and you walk through, and people are clapping and waving flags and this, that, and the other, and you'd feel a little self-conscious. You're giving this to me, and I don't deserve all this. And then we got on buses, and we went. First thing we did was we went to the Iwo Jima Memorial, where the Marines are putting up the flag. And we went and seen that. We went to the Air Force Memorial. We went to the Army Museum for dinner or for lunch. We went to the Navy Museum. And then we went to the hotel and spent the night. Had dinner, spent the night, and the next day we went to Arlington. Went to see the changing of the guard, which is fantastic. And it rained both days. I tell people it was a fantastic trip. It would have been super fantastic if it hadn't rained. But we got to sit and watch them change the guard, which was amazing. Them guys, the discipline they've got is just overwhelming. And then we went through the Arlington to what the heck was it? Artie Murphy. Nobody knows who Artie Murphy is. His grave. And then we went to the Lincoln Memorial, which is a lot bigger than it looks on screen. So much bigger.
You'd never been to D.C. before?
No. I'd never wanted to go. There are too dang many people back there.
Yeah.
And but this way, with you on that bus, it was.
It's cool to the other vets there, huh?
I'd like to have stayed longer, but. And then we got on an airplane and flew home. And we get here around about 11 at night. And again, we get off the airplane and they hold us there at the airport. You stay back here in this room. And then they let us out. And they had an Army band, 6-piece band. Miss Utah, Miss Provo.
Yeah.
Them kind of gals standing in a line. They had flags. They had banners, thanks for your service, welcome home, this, that, and the other, all the way through the airport. It must have been easily 100, 150 people, all clapping and screaming. And again, I'm going, I don't deserve this. I didn't do anything. But I guess I did. So then we got in the car and came home.
What's looking back on it, what's your takeaway from your time over in Vietnam? Is it one of those things where you think,
am I glad that I did it? In a way. I got to see places that would never go to see. I got to go to Japan. I got to live some of the culture. The Vietnamese culture was not that bad. Some of the food was edible. Some of it I wouldn't touch. Some of the things that went on over there, just living. Like I said, they lived on the river. There was one place they had pilings in the river and a platform on it, like a pier. Well, on that pier, they had corrugated tin, about 3 foot high, in cubicles with pathways in between each cubicle. In the middle of that cubicle was a hole because over in the Orient, they don't have toilets. They got a hole in the floor. This time they had a hole in the pier. So you're going by, and things are falling from them holes into the river as that gal is taking a cup full of water.
Mm.
So like I say, things like that I'd have never seen. Some of the nights that were bad, yeah, I wish they hadn't happened, but they did, and I came back okay. So luckily I'm a little target, I guess. But would I recommend it? No. But it's like anything in the military. When you're in boot camp, you hate it. You know, and nowadays you quit. Then you couldn't. But once you're done, you look back on boot camp and you joke about it, and you joke about all this stuff. When you get back from Vietnam, you joke about this stuff. When you get off a ship, you joke about that. When you have a bad rescue, you forget about it. When you have a good one, you celebrate it. So when we've had some that the search and rescue, we get a call from a gal. My husband's up on the mountain deer hunting, said he'd be home tonight. Last night he didn't show up. So we'd jump in cars or trucks and go up there and come around a corner, and there he is sitting in camp. No, he said I'd be back tomorrow, not today. So everything's fine. That's a good rescue. Everything's fine. Even if it's a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Nobody's hurt. Everything's fine. Good job.
Yeah.
So, and just supporting the county. So like I say, if you any volunteer work, go for it.
I want to skip back. Did you find? Did the Army? Did you have much interaction with the Army guys over there in Vietnam, or no?
Not a lot, no.
So it wasn't.
They were up in country more than we were down in the river.
Yeah. And the F-4s you called in, were they Navy guys or were they Air Force?
It was Air Force.
Air Force. Wow.
Yeah, they had Air Force bases there in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They also had, I don't know if they had any carriers off the coast or not. I know they had ships off the coast.
Yeah.
But no, there was Air Force bases because we could go on the Air Force base and buy liquor cheaper than you could. And it was just up the road.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, what a wild experience, man.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, it was an experience.
Yeah.
Good and bad, but you have good experiences and bad experiences
That's just
every
like
day.
life. That is life, right?
You can get on the freeway and drive straight through, or you can get caught in traffic. It's just...
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
Oh, no problem.
I appreciate that. Can you let me buy you lunch?
No, I've got to go.
You got to go.
Let me see what
Time is it?
12, almost 12:30. I've got a 2:00 tea time in Morgan. I got to go.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. It was a pleasure.
You too.